Fans are ready. Hope you're ready. We're ready. Yes. Here we go from Las Vegas. Carter will take it in the end zone, and Washington will start on their own 25-yard line. As well, you heard Pam talking about Taylor Heinicke. Here's the bottom line. Before the bye, look, remember, this was Ryan Fitzpatrick's team. He got hurt in week 1. He was up and down, wasn't playing so great, especially the weeks leading into the bye. Since 3-0, 112.8 rating, which is very good, and maybe most importantly, 5 TDs, only 1 interception.
And just talking to him this week, we had their game earlier in the year. He just has a whole new life to him. You just hear it in his voice. You can see it on his face. He feels confident. He's excited to have this opportunity. He's a different player than he was in the first half of the year.
Started out with a run, coming to the near side. It's Gibson, big hole, first down and more. And a good start for Antonio Gibson, who comes off a career week in the win over Seattle.
The offensive coordinator, Scotty Turner, he said, Antonio Gibson has brought us such a new element, right? Early in the year, he was battling through some injuries. He was splitting time with J.D. McKissick, who unfortunately Washington doesn't have today. They have committed to the run game. The offensive line loves it. Antonio Gibson is a big reason for this 3-game resurgence of this offense.
J.D. McKissick out today because of a head injury. That is a big loss. He's a terrific receiver out of the backfield. So Gibson on the fake. Heinicke rolling out. And lets it fly. He's got a man wide open. It's the backup tight end, Bates. And what a play, what a start for Washington. First 22 yards to Gibson, and then Bates with a big 1-2 of 23.
Well, they start out with a big run game on first down. Take a look here at Bates on the play action. Look at that. Everyone's flowing. Gives Heinicke plenty of time, a clear window. They really like Bates. Pete Hainer, the tight end coach, coached me for 9 years. He texted me this week. He said, hey, this Bates guy, he's starting to get it now. He can play a little bit.
2 plays, 45 yards for Washington. Pitch out. Coming to Gibson. Tries to cut back across the grain. It gets inside the 30 for maybe. Certainly had their. They've got a heck of a pass.
They have arguably as good a duo on the outside of pass rushers. Yannick Ngakoue, they brought him in to go along with Max Crosby. They need to generate pressure from the front 4. Gus Bradley's running this old prototypical cover 3 Seattle Seahawks from earlier. Take a look here, KB. They let us know they were going to do this. 2 wide receivers, Carter and Samuel in the backfield.
A fake to Carter, now coming back to Samuel, gets a big block, trips, and he's taken down. Boy, he might have scored, but Jonathan Abram did enough to blow up the play.
Scott Turner, the Washington offensive coordinator, he mentioned in pregame, he said, take a look, we're going to put both these guys in the backfield and be alert. Curtis Samuel, bringing him back from injury, do a great job. They fake the screen to the left. You mentioned it. If Curtis Samuel can keep his feet, that was a really well set up play. I think the ball might have been tipped a little there by Crosby, threw off the timing. Wow, they had a shot there.
Blitz is coming. Heinicke back foot throw. McLaurin in stride for the first down. Beauty of a throw from Heinicke as pressure in his face, and he picks up 13.
You said it, the key to that play is him just standing in the pocket and take a look here at McLaurin. He starts as the number 3 receiver. Safety's inside leverage. He knows with pressure, there's a clock going off in his head. He has a timing. He knows where his quarterback's going to be, but he knows he doesn't have a lot of time. Heinicke sits in there tough. They're on the same page and they convert.
Yeah, first quarter has been trouble for Washington. Good opening drive so far. 5 plays, 58 yards. On the fake, Heinicke slings it coming to the near side. The catch is made by Brown, and Brown fighting his way down near the 11. So De'Ami Brown, rookie from North Carolina, 3rd-round draft pick, just his 9th catch of the year. Well, the red zone has not been Washington's friend. 31st in the league. What that means is anytime they're inside the 20, they only score touchdowns 47% of the time. It's not a good ratio. But you see, the Raiders are the worst team in red zone defense, historically one of the worst ever.
You got to think something's got to give at some point, right?
You would think. Find out here. Straight give, Gibson right up the gut, and he is close to a first down. Looks like he's got it, but we'll see where they actually mark the ball.
We've seen great balance all week. There's been a lot of talk, this 3-game winning streak, the commitment to the run game. It's kind of become the identity that they've kind of rallied behind, but we've seen nice variety. We've seen some screens, we've seen some quick game, some play action. Scott Turner's had a nice opening script. You referenced they've struggled scoring early in games. Done a nice job with a balanced attack so far here early on this opening drive.
So it is a 3rd and 1. A little pitch out to Gibson, trying to race against Ngakoue. What a cut! Gibson's going to move forward and have it. Looked like Yannick Ngakoue was going to tag him for a loss, but Gibson made the play.
See Ngakoue right here. One of these two defenders needs to pin this outside, meaning you need to block the end man on the line of scrimmage. There was obviously a miscommunication there by the two receivers. Traditionally, that would be a position you'd find a tight end, Logan Thomas. The formation had it with two receivers. They've got to talk. One of you has the first down lineman on the ball, and the next guy has the first defensive player inside off the ball.
Well, they're going to measure this. I mean, it certainly looked like he had it from our first down line, but let's see where they spotted it. If not, obviously it's a 4th and, a foot. Let's see. There you go. So he does have a first down. 1st and goal, Washington. Rivera had to walk down just to make sure.
You need to make sure he had a good line of perspective there.
Gus Bradley, first-year defensive coordinator for Vegas. And defense that gave them a franchise worst in points last year. They've had their moments this year. A good drive by Washington to open up. Makes it 1st and goal. On the fake. Heineke floating one. End zone. Oh, one-hander. Caught for the touchdown by Thomas.
What do tight ends do in our games, KB? They catch touchdowns.
Logan Thomas, 2nd week back from injury, and what a gem that was.
It was a little token play action, and this is just a bust by the Raiders secondary. What a catch. Looks like he's going up for a big rebound. I said to you in pregame, we talked to Logan Thomas for a minute. I walked away, I said, I forget how big this guy is. What a play.
6'6", he used all of it. New kicker Brian Johnson was signed. Joey Sly got hurt last week. His 5th NFL game, that extra point, no problem. And a really good opening drive. 9 plays, 75 yards, and then Heineke. Kind of an alley-oop. Up to Logan Thomas, who hauls it in, his 3rd touchdown of the year, and it's Logan Thomas just made an unbelievable catch for the touchdown. That's the biggest former college quarterback I've ever seen. I mean, you are a big guy. Height-wise, he might even have you by an inch.
We walked away and we said, could you imagine sacking that guy in college?
No.
Bring him down?
It's unbelievable.
He's a monster.
Drake on the return, out near the 25. Back to the big play on that drive, the 3rd down conversion.
It was a great design by Gus Bradley. You see Denzel Perriman, he's going to do what they call a coffee house. He's going to start in the line, and then he's going to quick drop, and then he's going to pressure. Taylor knows he's taking this right into the face. We said after the play, McLaurin knows that timing. Take a look at this. Bang.
I mean,
look at that catch.
Talk about standing in and then the catch and a big drive, and now it's the Raiders' turn with Derek Carr, who leads the league in passing and will swing it out quickly to Renfro, but he is upended for no gain. Kendall Fuller was right there on the tackle. So Derek Carr, listen, when he has big games, they win, which you could say about a lot of quarterbacks, but he leads the NFL in passing. And reality is, when he throws for 300 or more, they're 6-0. When he's under 300, they're 0-for. So that gives you an idea how their offense has gone this year. Jacobs and Drake, 2 runners in the backfield now. They're going to throw it out to Drake, try to set up a little screen. Kenyon Drake gets blocking, makes a move, and a good play. And he's going to get nearly 9 yards. Look at this Raiders offense. Colton Miller really good on the left side. Leatherwood started the year on the right tackle side. Had trouble out there. They moved him into right guard. It's been better. Greg Olsen, the offensive coordinator, not you. I know, confusing. He said they're a better pass blocking unit than a run blocking unit so far.
And I think it plays directly into the hands of what is their calling card. That's Derek Carr. That's these offensive wide receiver weapons.
3rd and 1 here. Look to throw it. Renfro has to get there. Makes a move. Hunter Renfro, first down across the 40. Kendall Fuller had him. Couldn't wrap him up, and the drive continues.
Hunter Renfro runs routes. He runs motions very different than everyone else. They call this a disco motion. He's going to go right, and then bang, on the snap, he's going to redirect. It's really hard for defenses to match that. They're accounting for him to cross the side of the formation, and then he's so good run after catch. Man, I couldn't imagine trying to guard that guy. He's got more moves than maybe any receiver in the league.
Jumbo formation for the Raiders. There he is, extra tackle. Carr going to throw it, try to swing it out to Josh Jacobs, and Jacobs gets out to the 45 on a short gain. And so for Washington defensively, look, when you're winning 3 in a row, things are going well. They're playing much, much better. The crazy thing, you see Tuhill and James Smith-Williams, they're doing it without maybe their 2 best defensive players. Montez Sweat out, Chase Young, who's out for the year. How does that make any sense?
It defies all logic. You'd imagine you lose 2 of your premier players, especially at defensive end. And lo and behold, dealing with those injuries, you could argue their defense has actually continued to improve despite.
Jacobs makes a cut, and Josh Jacobs has a short gain. It'll be a 3rd down and about 4. There are big players missing from this game today to keep your eye on. For Washington, J.D. McKissick, we told you about him. Schweitzer, guard/center. He got hurt last week. And then Landon Collins, who's been great. They moved him to this hybrid linebacker, but he is out today. And for the Raiders, obviously, Darren Waller, all-world tight end, is out, and so is their pass rusher, Carl Nassib. So really some big names missing. 3rd and 4 for Vegas.
They love Renfro in these 2-man bunches. You mentioned it, without Waller here, if they throw the ball, it's going to pretty much go through him.
4-man rush. It's blocked. Carr dumps it to Drake, and it's knocked away, and it's incomplete. Cameron Curl was there, and it looks like the Raiders will send on the punt team.
It looked like Derek Carr was trying to get into a different play. I'm not sure if the entire unit got the check, but it seemed like before the ball was snapped, there was some confusion. You see him talking here to Renfro. Not sure if there was some miscommunication of what he wanted, but that's on 3rd down. Everyone's got to be on the same page before that ball is snapped.
A.J. Cole to punt it away. DeAndre Carter, dangerous return man back deep. But here, after a good kick, we'll call a fair catch just inside the 10. So, 75 yards to get on the board first against this Raiders defense, which has struggled of late. And now they get it back deep in their own territory to start drive number 2 here in the first quarter from Las Vegas. Glad to have you aboard. Heineke started this game 5 of 5 and floats one high. That was dangerous. Gibson got a hand on it, but Abram was right there. It just falls incomplete. So the Raiders defense, we told you about their issues. They brought in Gus Bradley, the former Seahawk coordinator, former Jaguars head coach. But since week 10, Greg, they've really struggled to find their footing there. You see the numbers. That's obviously really high.
And he was hired this year to try to just make them serviceable, right? Have a complementary defense. They have had a high-scoring offense. We've talked about how they can throw the ball.
Washington to run it. Gibson gets a block on the outside, and it springs him from Leno, and he's got a first down. Oh, he got a great block from the former Bear Charles Leno, and a nice pickup of 16.
Yeah, to finish what we were talking, so Gus comes in and he's got to rebuild this thing, right? And we just, as we see here, they just don't seem like everyone's on the same page. They've simplified the scheme. It's that old traditional cover 3. You see Big Leno, you mentioned it before, he's out in space.
Good start for Antonio Gibson. Jared Patterson comes in the backfield for the first time, number 32. Heineke to throw it again, and Has a quick hitter underneath to McLaurin, who makes the catch. Going to pick up 4 yards. So you're talking about this scheme for Gus Bradley, and you know it's interesting, right? Because we've seen Dan Quinn a lot this year with the Cowboys, and his scheme has changed a lot, but Gus's has stayed, you think, pretty much the same.
I think everyone out of that tree, right? Ken Norton and Pete Carroll, and where it started with Gus Bradley up in Seattle earlier years back. We've seen Dan Quinn when Dallas kind of evolve and move on. Gus has really stuck to his guns. He really believes in this scheme. He believes in players playing fast, not thinking too much. But sometimes getting a new system in place takes some time.
Patterson on the carry, not much. It brings up a 3rd down. So what's the good and bad of that was staying the same?
Right, so the good is, from your perspective, being the Raiders, you're not going to have a lot of busts. Guys are going to pretty much know where to be. They're going to understand, because you don't change very much, right? The system is very structured. There's a lot of set rules. Now, on the flip side, offenses know how to attack you. They know where you're vulnerable. They know where the weaknesses are in your pass coverages. So it forces you to really focus on your weaknesses every single week, because that's where teams are going to attack you.
See how Washington attacks him here on a 3rd and 4. And the Raiders showed blitz. They might have made Washington move there.
False start, offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It's on the 4-time Pro Bowler Brandon Sheriff. Interesting, the Raiders blitzed the lowest of any team in the league, but we've seen it once and they kind of faked it there and got the penalty.
Those are the wrinkles that we're talking about. Gus Bradley's taking a look, and there's a little self-scout saying, okay, the foundational hallmark of this defense is rush with 4 and be able to play strong, soft coverages. Well, if you're not getting pressure with 4, now you got to dial up your blitz package. We've seen it so far today.
Makes it a 3rd and 9. 4-man pressure. Heineke stands in there, delivers to Smallwood out of the backfield. Going to be short of a 1st down. Nice tackle by Denzel Perriman, and Washington will have to punt it away.
And that right there is the philosophy of this defense, right? It's stay on top. What that means is we want to stay deeper than your deepest receiver. We want to force the quarterback to throw the ball underneath the umbrella, meaning underneath all of our deep zone defenders, but we have to be great open field tacklers. We see it right there, and it gets him off the field on 3rd down.
Tressway to punt it away. Renfro. Not a lot of room, and he's tackled immediately. Good special teams coverage by DeShazer Everett. So, Raiders football down 7. Derek, and they're playing their best football defensively of the year right now. So you say he's back, but they weren't in Vegas when he was a coach, but you get the idea. Here's Carr. Back to pass, has time, steps up and throws. It is caught. Good catch over the middle to Bryan Edwards, who's had only 1 target the last 2 weeks, but a nice hook up there gets him 18.
Seeing the Raiders, they're going up-tempo here. Sometimes you get an early 1st down conversion, especially a nice chunk play like that. Keep the defense on the field. Don't let them sub.
Oh, now did he catch it? And you look at that.
Challenging it.
Yeah, Ron Rivera is going to challenge, and that last replay, you could certainly see why.
If you're the receiver in that situation, and you are really the only one who knows whether you caught it or not,
so
really alert your quarterback.
After review, it was an incomplete pass. The receiver did not maintain control of the ball when it hit the ground. It will be 2nd down. The ball will be returned to the 18-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 3 minutes, 2 seconds. The clock will start in the snap. Washington will not be charged with a timeout.
Great play there by Bobby McCain. They teach him go hands to hands, finish all the way to the ground. But as I was saying before we went to break, every team offensively, they have a code word. You see he doesn't like the reaction there, Bryan Edwards. He thought he caught it. But they have a code word that alerts everyone on the offense. I'm not sure if I caught it. We've got to go real fast, hurry up tempo, fire, whatever your code is. You've got to get lined up and get that ball snapped and not give the opposing team's defense a chance to challenge it.
Yeah, that time tried it. It just didn't work.
Go fast enough.
And so it makes it a 2nd and 10. They will give it to Jacobs. Looks for room on the right side. Has some. Good hard run by Josh Jacobs up to the 25. And so it makes it call it a 3rd down and 3. As Khaleke Hudson was there on the tackle. So, yeah, no Landon Collins today, Greg, and it's interesting. They've really flourished. Hudson's going to play a lot in that role of Landon Collins, who was kind of the former safety, now quasi-safety linebacker.
It's been well chronicled. He was a little hesitant to kind of accept this new role, but Ron Rivera sat him down and said, listen, this is the best thing for you, for our defense. And since then,
here's Carr in trouble, flags everywhere. Carr in trouble, just tries to throw it away. And Drake caught it out of bounds, well out of bounds, but it sure looks like 1, 2, 3, 7 holdings on the play. Where all those flags coming in?
Yeah, they're gonna get Alex Leatherwood, first-round rookie out of Alabama. Yeah, he just tackles him.
Yep. Holding, offense, number 70. That penalty's declined, 4th down.
Greg, I say if you're going to hold, you might as well just go for it, right?
Money's worth now, right? Nothing's worse when you get a penalty called and the guy also hits the quarterback. You just say, at least tackle him, right? Get your money and save our quarterback. Well, Alex Leatherwood, if there's one positive, he didn't hit the quarterback.
That's an interesting positive, but I get it. So the
Raider fans probably don't love that.
Raiders offense, which looks so good on Thanksgiving, sluggish so far here today, as they'll have to punt it away for the 2nd time. Good deep kick. Wow, look at this thing. Inside the 10, it's Carter, who does have some room. DeAndre Carter. Nice tackle from behind. Keyshawn Nixon with a whale of a special teams play. Oversee their first 2 possessions. 9 plays, 75 yards. The touchdown to Logan Thomas on the opener. And then forced to punt on the last series. Penalty hurt him at a 3rd and long. And so here's their 3rd possession. Raiders offense is yet to get going. Antonio Gibson lines up as a wide receiver, number 24, and now he'll come on back into the backfield. They'll give it to him. Right up the middle in a big hole. Gibson running over people. He is not shy. Corey Littleton absorbed the hit, didn't really give it. Not bad for a former wide receiver in college.
A key element of this scheme that Washington runs is there's a lot of misdirection. You can see Logan Thomas go back. They've got the fake reverse. You see what it does to the linebackers, Corey Littleton and Denzel Perryman. They're all standing still. That's the idea of this whole, Kyle Shanahan, this Sean McVay run game. Get a lot of bodies going side to side and just do a basic handoff. It has a huge effect on the defense.
Run it again. Gibson sprinting to the edge, trying to get outside. Raiders played it pretty well that time. Not much there. More on Gibson, which got that down to the field with Pam.
Well, Kevin, Antonio Gibson with some nice production so far today. There's been a little tweak to how he's been running the ball. The team has encouraged Gibson to use his size. He's 6'2", 221 pounds, a lot better. Washington offensive coordinator Scott Turner told us a lot of times he tries to slow down to make his cut, and that takes his power away. Now he's running hard and making guys tackle him, which is not always a pleasant task. Yeah, Kevin.
Pam, good point. The reason with the ball, he's got 5 fumbles, 3 lost. That's the most of any running back in the league. 3rd down. Pressure coming. Heineke delivers on time for a 1st down. It's Carter.
Really nice design. You heard we were just talking about Antonio Gibson. They start him in the backfield, and then they're going to build. You see a guy down. They're going to start him in the backfield, and when he goes here, they're really going to build what they call a 4-by-1. There's going to be 4 receivers to the left. Look what the defense has to do. See all these guys pushing, right? They're all pushing, and now there's a nice pocket for Carter to find. Ball puts right on him. Nice conversion. Good play design. It starts with the formation and the motion and knowing what the effect is going to be on the defense.
I mean, maybe a good play design. Taylor Heineke is really off to a great start. 8 of 9 passing. His C. Ngakoue was slow to walk off there for the Raiders. And by the way, Heineke has hit 6 different receivers thus far. The Cleveland Furl comes in, number 99 for Ngakoue, on a 1st and 10. Heineke, pressure right in his face, gets rid of it, and incomplete. Bates had his hands on it, couldn't haul it in.
He's got big Max Crosby. I'm surprised he even got that ball up. I thought he was going to try to just dirt it, but Max Crosby, he's in his face. You see him, he tries to elevate the ball. Oh, Bates has to catch that. It's a pretty impressive throw that he was able to get that ball up and down with Crosby in his face.
Scott Turner, second year offensive coordinator for Washington. And his quarterback playing well right now. He even made a good throw with pressure in his face. 2nd and 10. Gibson, he's got 51 rushing yards already, and that time tripped up after a 2-yard game. It was Perriman on the stop, and that should take us to the end of this first quarter, which for the most part dominated by the Washington football team, and Taylor Heineke with this touchdown. This is torch in the end zone. You got the scenery, the windows open, the entire field.
Asked Mark Davis, how do you keep it? He goes, I don't know, we got great groundskeeper. And believe it or not, 4 feet under this, there's a turf field. So he said UNLV and some of the other teams want to play on turf. The stadium's incredible.
Big third down to start the second quarter. 3rd and 8. Heineke has it blocked, can't find anybody. Pressure coming, looks to tuck it and run. He's not going to get there though. Max Crosby in pursuit, and that was enough to prevent the first down pickup and a punting situation coming up.
Nice change of pace there by Gus Bradley. We see him so often play that cover 3, right? One single safety in the middle of the field. Everyone else is playing zone. That time he changed it up. They went man. Didn't have a lot of man beaters. Nobody won their matchup. And as a result, Taylor Heineke had nowhere to go with the ball.
So after a big opening drive, Raiders defense has settled, gotten 2 stops in a row. Tressway, pressure, but he got it off and away, and Renfro calls a fair catch, and he gets knocked into by his own player. And the question was he blocked in? Looked like Roderick Teamer was the guy that hit him, but he was engaged with Cam Sims. There's no penalty flag. Renfro wants one. Let's see.
It looked to me like Teamer, so Teamer made the contact, so his own guy made contact with him, so
the player was engaged in blocking.
Yeah, so those guys are engaged. I think his own player actually is the one who hit him and made contact. It's a lonely feeling for those punt returners. Even though you give that fair catch, your eyes are in the sky and those guys are bearing down on you.
So let's see if the Raiders can get their offense going. They have been quiet today, just 31 yards. They go jumbo formation, bring on an extra tackle, and Jarrett make it Jackson Barton. There he is.
55.
They get Jacobs going and can't do it. Just a yard as he was stymied rather quickly on the play by Daniel Wise.
Offensive coordinator for Las Vegas, Greg Olsen, no relation. When we asked him, he said, what's the key to victory for you guys offensively? And he said, how do we match up when Washington plays 5 big guys? He calls it solid. You can see it right here. They're lined up. They got 5 big guys. They use Jamin Davis, the linebacker, on the outside. How are we going to match up run and pass? And they align in that front.
Carr's got time here. Now goes far sideline. It's Renfro who's got the completion for a first down. Might as well go to Old Reliable, who leads your team in basically every receiving category, and that'll move the chains.
He is so hard to cover. He can take you deep. He's so quick in and out of his breaks. You see him there. He's just running what they call a spray, and then he's going to run a comeback. He's going to start from a stack. He's going to push his defender really deep and then snap it back. Carr did a great job. It was play action. He tried to work the other side. It wasn't open. He came all the way back to his single backside receiver, who was Renfro, wide open.
Carr to throw it. Going to swing it out in the flat to Jacobs, who breaks a tackle. Jacobs working hard and out near the 25-yard line. It got by the tackle of the rookie Jamin Davis to pick up 5 yards.
Josh Jacobs, again, we just gave the same compliment to Renfro. You very rarely see one defender take these guys down. And such an element of this offense is we want to take deep shots. Derek Carr wants to push the ball down the field deep. But if the defense is really, really soft, I'm going to check it down, and we got to get run after catch. And a lot of that is making guys miss and breaking tackles.
Or handing it to Jacobs. A little stutter step up the middle. going to bring up a 3rd down and short. Brings up a game break for us. Let's say hello to Carissa Thompson.
Thank you, Kevin. Niners trailing 7-0 in Seattle. No Deebo Samuel, but the Niners still have George Kittle, recipient of this 24-yard pass from Jimmy Garoppolo. We are all tied at 7.
You know, the 49ers have won 3 straight and 4 or 5. They are a playoff team right now. They've really turned their season around. 3rd down for the Raiders. 3rd and 2.
They use that motion, KB, it's their zone man check, and now he's going to check into the right play when no one goes with the motion.
4-man rush. Carr over the middle. Oh, boy, that's close. I think it's a 1st down. Renfro again, and he's got it. It's like a vacuum. Every ball on his way, he catches everything.
So depending on how he comes off the ball, we call that a stem. He's going to get in the wake of Bryan Edwards. Watch, he's going to get right behind him. Now he can just find soft. The motion told him it was going to be zone. Derek Carr checks into the right play. Now he knows, I'm going to find a soft pocket. I'm going to set at 1st down depth, and Derek Carr is going to put the ball on my chest.
Carr. Renfro again. Another big move, man. He is shifty out near the 40. How is he open all the time, Greg?
He plays the game like he's on the street, just free, just kind of freestyling. Look how many moves he's making. He looks like he's going to run what they call a whip route. Now this time he's going to sell like he's going to run that last route. He's going to go pump. Oh, nope, I'm coming back underneath. He starts and stops. And you see him here today. He's so hard to guard in space. Greg Olsen told us he's like a basketball point guard. His feet are always balanced underneath him, and it allows him to do almost a crossover like he's handling the ball. He's incredible.
Carr, he's got a lot of time here. Can't find anyone. Gets it out to the flat. Catches me. Jacobs breaks the tackle, has a 1st down. So Jacobs is breaking a couple tackles on this drive. Tried to take the deep shot. It wasn't there. And now Jacobs looks like he's a little bit hurt.
Deshaun Jackson is wide open. You're going to see him put his hand up. Oh, he missed him. He didn't quite feel it. He came to his check down. See Jacobs coming out, banged up, but Deshaun Jackson has brought that element of that deep home run explosive. We saw it last week in Dallas. They missed a shot there.
Kenyon Drake replaces Jacobs. They fake it to him. They're going to throw it quickly on the outside. And there's Edwards who makes the catch. Fuller was right there on the tackle. Well, you showed Deshaun Jackson. And you talk about Hunter Renfro and all he's done. And Deshaun Jackson had a big impact last week. This Raiders team has the most explosive plays in the league. Most plays over 20 yards in the NFL. 2nd and 5 here. Drake. And absolutely smoked. Oh, my goodness. The sound of that tackle. Ball came out. Washington says they have it. And let's see. They do. It is loose. It's recovered by Washington. And 2 players are down. Drake and Jamin Davis, one from each team. You heard that hit.
Number 22, I think his knee is down.
But he got twisted, too, in an awkward position.
You see number 22, DeShazer Everett, who we said is kind of playing spot play with Khaleke Hudson, kind of sharing that Landon Collins role, came up and put a huge hit on Drake. Gotta hope he's okay.
See that leg and ankle
kind of got bent back funny. That's what caused him to kind of toss the ball up. Hope he's okay.
Injury timeout. They also ruled a fumble on the field. Have to take a look at that. Back after this. Oh, this stinks for Kenyon Drake. You saw he got twisted down in that pile and he had to get carted off. He gives a thumbs up to the fans who were cheering for him. And they had an expedited review, by the way, and that ball, Drake was down, so it is not a fumble. It is the Raiders football. Trying to get the offense going here. You've seen some glimpses. Hunter Renfro's been good, but they haven't had any consistency.
Yeah, they need someone else to step up. You know, we mentioned Deshaun Jackson. They had a shot. Carr didn't quite see it, didn't quite like it. Someone else needs to step up now and make a play and kind of be get a little energy into this offense and get them going. Right now, it's really just been a one-man show trying to get the ball to Renfro. Then a lot of short passes. You got to start pushing this ball down the field a little bit.
Yeah, you know, Deshaun Jackson's a guy that they just brought in too, and you know we saw the impact first couple weeks. He wasn't playing much. Well, he had a big game against Dallas last week. Touchdown catch, drew multiple penalties, and you see against Washington, of course, most of this with Philadelphia. He has had big days before. Of course, he used to play for Washington as well. On the sideline for this 3rd and 5, though. Well, Josh Jacobs is back in. We saw he went off hurt a couple plays ago, so that's good news for the Raiders. It's him in motion. Look to get it to him. Needs a block. Gets one. Who has a way to go? Not going to get there. Nowhere to go. Bobby McCain came up from the safety spot and gave him a whack. And it looks like the Raiders will punt it away.
The pursuit on that play. Watch all these D linemen run, and then comes all the way from his secondary spot. Bobby McCain to finish him off. But look at the pursuit. There's 4 or 5 guys in the picture coming to the ball. That's a trademark of this Ron Rivera style. He preaches it in practice. Guys are running, get to the ball, get to the ball. You saw it right there on a big 3rd down stop.
Fair catch called for by Carter, and does so just inside the 10. So the Raiders offense has been relative. He's been in this league a long time as a very well thought of special teams coach, and he's still doing that too. You see, he's looking at the pictures with his special teamers. Right now, his Raiders down 7. And Denzel Perriman, who's been in on, I feel like, every tackle, Greg. He came into the game today, 2nd in the NFL in tackles. The Raiders linebacker. He's got 7 tackles in this first half. There he is, number 52.
In free agency this year, he actually signed with Carolina Panthers. He was in camp with them. Dealt with some injuries, some back and forth. They ended up trading him here to the Raiders, and as you mentioned, him and Bobby Wagner, it's pretty good company to be in. Right now are the top 2 tacklers in the entire league.
Go empty here. Heineke calmly dishes it to McLaurin over the middle. He's up to the 16-yard line. Going to be a 3rd down and 4 coming up. Tell you know, we started the broadcast, Pam, talking about Heineke and his toughness, his vibe. You play with him in Carolina, so you know him just as well as anybody. There's something there, right? There's like a mojo that it seems to rub off.
There is, and we noticed it pretty quick. Of course, we had Cam. He was in a backup role when he joined us in the offseason during OTAs and whatnot. But he'd be running the 2nd-team offense, and then he'd be running the scout team. And we'd all kind of stand there and say, well, there's something about this kid. He's got some sort of energy. And here he is a few years later.
3rd and 4. 4-man rush. Standing in, delivering 1st down again. On target like he's been all day. That's Adam Humphries who's got the catch to move the chains.
Adam Humphries runs a really nice route. They call this a whip. He's going to kind of run like he's going to start running a 5-yard square out. He's going to stick his foot in the ground and come back in. And he's on the other side. Couldn't quite tell on the screen, but a really nice route. Easy conversion there. Sometimes simpler is better.
Washington 4 of 6 on 3rd downs. It's been a story in this first half. 1st down here, a couple of fakes. Pressure comes, steps away, floats one for Thomas. Tried to make another one-hander, couldn't do it though, as Corey Littleton had very good coverage.
Pretty creative play design. You're going to see Logan Thomas is going to be in the fullback position. They're going to kind of sneak him out. They're hoping the linebackers lose him. The play action, the fake reverse. But Corey Littleton doesn't bite. He doesn't come up. He stays with his assignment. Logan Thomas almost makes another one-handed catch, but good play design, but really well defended by the Raiders. Corey Littleton playing their keys.
Second down on the fake. Has all day. Can't find anyone. Now pressure coming. Gets rid of it to Gibson underneath, and he's tackled immediately. No gain for Gibson. There's a penalty in the secondary.
Before the pass, holding defense, number 35. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's on Brandon Faison.
Gibson's runs like they call it a chatter comeback. He's going to stutter his feet, then he's going to push deep. I guess they're saying just enough contact there at the top of the route. Those double move type concepts are really hard to play man-to-man coverage. Sometimes their first instinct is just to latch on and get their hands on the offensive player, and it's a big, big penalty.
Sure is. Gibson will get it up the middle, big hole, big run. Gibson surging forward, and he picks up 9 yards on the carry. That'll put him up to 63 yards in this first half. Antonio Gibson, who had a terrific day, career high 29 rushes against Seattle on Monday night, 111 yards. He had 36 total touches in that game, as you see Littleton as the injured Raider. But Gibson today, though, coming off a game there where he had 36 total touches, today 10 carries already, 63 yards, and then has been super effective in that role.
Today, Gibson's going to kind of be a one-man show, which really, with McKissick out, is not what Ron Rivera traditionally wants to be. Back in Carolina, when we first got there, we had Jonathan Stewart, D'Angelo Williams. Then he had Stu, and he had Michael Tolbert. It wasn't until McCaffrey came, and it was like, oh, we can't take this guy off the field. He's going to get 40 touches a game. He doesn't want to do that again. He says, I got Gibson, I got McKissick. They're going to share the touches. But today, with McKissick being out, a lot more of the responsibility now is going to fall on Antonio Gibson, as you mentioned.
So Divine Diablo comes in at linebacker now, number 5 for Littleton. He's mostly a special teams player. As a give to Gibson, runner right side. He's got a first down. Keep on riding the train of Antonio Gibson.
Keep your eye on these 3 linebackers. This is a short down and distance, but watch how no one's coming up. It's because the tight end is going backside, that misdirection we've talked about.
Look at this play to Samuel. It gets blown up. Max Crosby read it all the way. That's a momentum changer from Crosby, who's having a Pro Bowl type season.
Oh, that's Woody. We used to call that play Woody because of the toy motion. That was the code word. It's kind of the old Statue of Liberty play, but you're not counting on the defensive end to make that play in space. He's going to pump the fake. Logan Thomas is supposed to bypass that end and go up and block Abram. Max Crosby was having none of it, but that's a play that's been in this offense for a long time. Scotty Turner tried to bring it out.
You called it Woody. I call it a loss of 3. Heineke back to throw. Just going to get it over the middle, and that's going to be a short gain. Not much there to Smallwood. And it'll bring up a 3rd and long. You know, it's interesting trying to work Curtis Samuel into the game, right? We saw him come back. They gave him a big money contract, had a groin issue really since OTAs. Trying to get him involved, and it hasn't totally clicked just yet. Bring him a 3rd down and long. Blitz coming, picked up. Heineke decked as he throws. It is incomplete. The hit came from Crosby, and there's a penalty at the end of it.
They're going to get him for roughing the passer.
Now Crosby's 2nd in the league in quarterback hits. He's done that all year long, but let's see. And there's another penalty in the secondary too. Let's unfold all of this.
There's no fouls downfield. However, in the backfield, personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 98. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Wow. I mean, that was a 3rd and 10.
This is a really good blitz design. You see him bring Hobbs on this overload pressure. Crosby's the inside stunt. And they're going to say, I guess he landed his body on top of him. Not sure if I saw that. So his body weight, yeah, see how he kind of picks him up and drives him into the ground. They're trying to eliminate that. By the letter of the law, you can see Taylor Heineke, he felt all of that. That was a violent, violent collision.
You know, by the letter of the law, that's a penalty. It's a correct call.
Absolutely.
But sometimes with momentum, I mean, it's not exactly easy to not fall on somebody when you're driving them into the ground.
Absolutely.
That was 3rd and 10. It's a huge penalty as Gibson upended there. Nowhere to go. And Nate Hobbs, who's had a fine rookie season out of Illinois, makes the tackle. So a couple times the Raiders have given Washington some opportunities in this drive.
They have, and that's really been Washington's MO. They've done a great job, whether it's through 3rd and short conversions, staying on the field, time of possession. How many plays can we run in the course of a game? That's been their formula the last few weeks. In this drive, they've done a great job maintaining it.
And they're totally happy taking it down to the 2-minute warning. And they will do just that. So, 2 minutes to go in this first half from Las Vegas. Washington on the move and up 7-0. Secret to Washington's success in their 3-game winning streak, they are possessing the ball, keeping their defense off the field. They're running the football. It all kind of has gone together, and they're converting 3rd downs. A lot of them have been 3rd and short. Today, it's pretty much the same exact formula.
They've been able to continue to replicate this week in and week out. And there's a lot of people saying, how is this sustainable? Is this model in the NFL able to work? Well, through 3.5 weeks, it's working for Washington.
2 minutes to go. Each team 3 timeouts. Pressure on Heineke, and he is dropped. As Malcolm Kuntz with the sack, and now some little scuffle breaking out. The 3rd-round draft pick out of Buffalo got home. It's his first sack of his NFL career. And you see there's some...
Eric Flowers is not happy. He's coming to the defense of his quarterback, which...
Well, let's see what happened here.
Timeout, Las Vegas.
Yeah, maybe he thought there was a little extra something. I don't think he did anything crazy. I thought he thought maybe Taylor wasn't down.
He wasn't
still
down.
Trying to run, and he just finished the play. I think that was just good, hard pass rush.
Is that a little bit left over from the Crosby hit? You think more than that play?
John Matsko, the offensive line coach for Washington, he is not going to be happy on a Monday meeting if he sees his offensive line not go to bat for their quarterback, protect him. Doesn't like his quarterback being hit. He is one of the all-time best assistant coaches, regardless of position, in the National Football League, John Matsko.
Fans are rocking on a 3rd and forever. They're going to just hand it off here to Smallwood, who's got a good chunk of it back. And it's still going to be a 4th down and long, but into Raiders territory. 1:49 to go. And the Raiders call their 2nd timeout. So they'll have 1 left. Plenty of time, though. 1:49 to go as Washington sends the punt team on. While we have a moment, let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Coming up, I am in for the Verizon halftime show. Terry Bradshaw is in with highlights from around the league. And Michael and Howard are both in with analysis.
Oh, hey, dude, this is my thing. You don't do ins and outs.
And Jay Glazer is out with a short temper.
That's not what it says. Totally doesn't say that.
Oh, Kurt throwing zingers. I like it.
Kurt's turning into a comedian every week. He's got a little something for us. I love it.
So, after all that's gone on in this drive, Raiders gave Washington 2 free 1st downs with penalties. They do get a stop here on a 4th and 7. 1:49 to go in the half. They have 1 timeout remaining. And Washington has the punt team on right now.
And this situation is why most NFL teams defer. The Raiders are going to have the ball coming out of the break. They call it double dip. Can you go in before the half with your last possession, get points, whether it's a field goal or touchdown, knowing coming out in the 2nd half, you're then going to double up possessions and a chance to take the lead depending on this. See if they can execute it, but that's the idea behind deferring to receive the ball in the 2nd half.
Raiders offense has, we showed you, haven't been on the field a lot with the time of possession, but when they haven't done much. Only 74 total yards in this first half. I think that conversation is right there. Nice pajamas.
Experience on the blackjack table last night.
That's probably really what it is.
Believe what that dealer pulled.
No. 5-card 21 is tough once, a little on 12 times in a row. Here's the quarterback comparison. Heineke's played really well. Pam member told you that his teammates call him a warrior. He's taken some big-time hits today. And Carr and the Raiders just have not gotten going. Here's the warrior part of Heineke. I mean, he has gotten some shots.
Yeah, he's been hit and taken to the ground a few times today, but he never backs away. He's never on his heels. He's standing in there. He knows the hits are coming. The respect he has, that was the last penalty there they called on Crosby, but the respect he has from his peers, from his teammates, from his coaches, just can't say enough about it for a guy who's really come out of nowhere.
Meanwhile, 7-0 game. So for all the field that Washington has dominated, which in some ways they have, it's just an opening drive touchdown. That's it so far. Raiders defense, we showed you their struggles, but they have held their own. Keeping it a one-score game. Way. And takes a nice Raiders bounce into the end zone. So they'll start on their own 20. 1:39 left in the half. One timeout. And see if they get in gear here, get on the scoreboard. Back in a moment from 1:41 to go in the half. Just a gorgeous stadium. What a shot, what an atmosphere here this afternoon. Glad you're with us. See if the Raiders get something going. Four-man rush, Derek Carr in trouble. Down he goes, and a penalty flag. Allen got home. You wonder if that was low on the hit.
I think that's what they're going to call, but... Or maybe they're called holding.
Holding.
Yep.
Offense. Number 76. That penalty is declined. Second down.
That changes this whole drive, doesn't it?
Totally. You can't come out now. We talked, they want to go in and get some points here, but now all of a sudden it completely flips. With Washington having 3 timeouts, you see Simpson, he just takes them completely to the ground. You were right. There was contact low, but if, it was clear that the offensive player pulled the defensive player down.
Carr zips it complete. It is Edwards who makes a catch in stride out across the 30. And that'll be close to a first down. Should be enough, and it is.
And now you can go up tempo, right? Now you can go up tempo. Washington's, now you've converted the first down. Now you've got to pick it up.
Four-man rush, pressure on Carr, unloads, has a completion. Making a move inside is Jacobs. Penalty flag. He's out near first down, but this is in the area of holding again. Well, let's see what this one is.
Not sure if it's holding or hands to the face.
Illegal use of the hands to the face, defense, number 96.
Yeah.
That penalty's declined. The play results in a first down.
You were right. It's on James Smith-Williams.
Well, 2 plays ago, you can see it here in the right tackle, Brandon Parker. He's just going to get his right hand up in his throat and push his helmet back. But 2 plays ago, we're saying, all right, now the Raiders have to kind of take it easy now. 3 incompletes. They can stop the clock on defense. With the penalty and the first downs, you're thinking points here all day.
Carr floats one. Danger. Jacobs is buried for a big loss. That had a mess written all over it. Jamin Davis was on the tackle for the big loss.
Yeah, you'd like to see Derek Carr just ground that ball, right? Just throw it at his feet, stop the clock. We've only got 1 timeout remaining. Eating up a lot of clock here. They got a long way to go to at least get in field goal range.
40 seconds left. Carr pumps, steps up, looks to run it. Has some room, trying to get to the marker. Got a great block, Zay Jones, and he's got the first, and he's out of bounds. Zay Jones stood up his man. That was well done.
Sometimes in these 2-minute situations, everyone's trying to get up the field, and they lose their rush lane integrity. See how there's no real pocket, there's no real contain from the defensive players. Derek Carr is a very good athlete. You give him that space, and then you see Zay Jones here just staying in the way, letting his quarterback get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Which they do. So 1 timeout, Raiders, 32 seconds ago. By the way, Raiders had 14 rushing yards all half. That went for 17. Peyton Barber in the game in the backfield for the first time. Carr this time pressured again, steps up, looks to run it again. Carr takes a hit down to the 40. And now they've got to use that timeout. I think they do. And that will be their final timeout. So Carr trying to do it himself with pressure again.
Nice job by Carr. He knows by being tackled in bounds, immediately he needs to get up and stop that clock. Approaching 20 seconds, just under. He's calling it from the ground. Yeah, the Raiders took that timeout. You clearly see Derek Carr on the ground calling it.
So 18 seconds left, no timeouts. They've got a field goal kicker in Daniel Carlson, who's got a big leg. As a matter of fact, he hit his career long last week against Dallas. 56-yarder in that game. So in that scenario, they'd only need a couple more yards. But what do they really have time for as they reset the clock to now 4 seconds?
So now with them resetting the clock, you have time even if you do complete a pass inbounds, right? So they're going to say, this is automatic get down. Catch the ball, advance it, get down, because we now need to hurry up to the line and spike it. Defensively, you are protecting the boundaries. You are not letting them complete this pass on the sidelines to stop the clock. You need to rally tackle, keep everything inside, and tackle him, knowing that they need to get up and spike the ball to stop the clock.
Showed you Deshaun Jackson. He's only played 9 plays. Remember, he had that calf injury. Don't know if that's a factor. Zay Jones catches it and then thought about turning it upfield, but then he listened to Greg Olsen's advice and got out of bounds, and he moves the chains, and he's in field goal range, and it stops the clock.
And William Jackson was trying to stay outside. You can see by his leverage, he's outside of the defender, but he needs to run through his outside leg. You see him, he kind of puts his back end to the sideline, just doesn't have enough to keep him in bounds. Now, same situation. They're pretty much in field goal range, but with 19 seconds, you do have time to get more yards, tackle, and get up and spike it.
Yeah, this is a 54-yard attempt from here, which is in Carlson's range for sure. They'll look for more. Carr loading up, floating it deep down the field for Edwards, nearly intercepted. William Jackson ran the route better than Edwards did.
Well, that was close. William Jackson felt that. He felt that end line. You saw him. He started to toe tap. Derek Carr's lucky that wasn't picked. Everybody's kind of tracking that ball over their head like a center fielder. You see them both looking up in the lights. Jackson had a little more room there. If he kept running, he had a shot.
Oh, Jackson checks in. Again, hasn't played all that much. He won't play every play. Don't know if that's just the lack of plays or that calf, but he's in here, top of your screen. Carr rolls out, gets it to Jacobs, just looking for more yards in field goal range, and Jacobs takes it inside the 35. It's going to give him 2 more, and it'll bring up 3rd down with only 9 seconds left. Now they're going to send out the field goal team.
Yeah, with 9 seconds left, you can't risk being tackled in bounds. You don't have enough time to go hurry up and clock it. So they were just clearly trying to get that ball on the perimeter, run some time off, pick up as many yards as they can. Give them an attempt here at the end of the half to get some points on the board.
This will be a 52-yard attempt from Carlson. Still going to get the Raiders on the board. Carlson has got it. And so the Raiders, a much-needed drive just to get on the scoreboard. And remember, they get the ball to start the second half.
Really well executed drive. It started out bad with the penalties. They overcame it, got a penalty of their own. Able to go down there. That builds such confidence going into the half. Really well executed. I think an element of that last kind of sprint out pass to Josh Jacobs was, I think Carlson likes the ball on the right hash, but because they couldn't recenter it, really well executed all around.
Well, Wednesday, the last epic Masked Singer battle before the season finale, and a legend will be revealed. And don't miss the first time Nicole and Robin perform unforgettable duets with Masked Singers. It's all new Wednesday on Fox. The Verizon halftime show coming up with Kurt, Howie, and Michael. Ravens and Steelers. And the Ravens, the best team in the AFC coming into today, looking to keep that seed. The Rams have been listless on offense. They're up 16-7 right now, so still struggling against Jacksonville today. And the 49ers up by 10 over Seattle. They are hot and looking better and better. 4 seconds left in the half, so it'll be a kickoff. As Carter is dangerous, but they're going to give him a chance here. And he won't take it. We'll let it go. Likely get a knee. So here is the playoff picture. Arizona won today in Chicago. Andy Dalton threw 4 interceptions. The Bucs beat Atlanta. The Packers have a bye this week. We saw the Cowboys on Thursday night. And again, the Rams have been sluggish. They've lost a few in a row. 49ers playing well. The Eagles won today. They came back to beat the Jets. So Washington, if they wins, they would jump back in front of Philadelphia. Washington, you said it, they have 5 games in a row against their division to close out the year. They control their own destiny because 2 of those games are against Dallas. They'll take a knee here. And we will take it to the break. 7-3 Washington over Las Vegas. Tight one and a big game. And early on, it felt like Washington was just dominating this game, but it's only a 4-point game. Of course, the Raiders will get it right here, and they'll start on their own 25-yard line. And so as much of a slog as some of the offense has been in this game, Greg, Carr's only got 80 yards passing. He leads the league in passing. Here they are down by 4.
Yeah, really, each team has had one drive. Washington had the opening drive that led to the only touchdown of the game. And then the Raiders had a little bit of a drive there at the end to get a field goal. Both these offenses need to come to life. They got to start pushing the ball downfield a little bit, open it up. Someone at some point needs to take control of this game. See if it can be Raiders here to start the half.
Trying to get the run game going to Jacobs, and tough sledding for him. Gain of 3. Down to Pam Oliver we go.
Well, Kevin, Rich Bisaccia was very pleased with how they were able to move the ball offensively to end the half. But he said overall we've got to protect better so we can get the ball down the field. Defensively, he said that we are not settled down. We have got to stop those explosive runs. As for Washington, I asked Ron Rivera, how do you kind of recapture what the offense did to start the game? He said eliminate negative plays. He feels like they're shooting themselves in the foot. Defensively, tackle better was his main goal.
Pam, by the way, excellent choice of the footwear with the Adidas stay, because Reverend Run performing at halftime. I mean, Pam is on it. Here is Jacobs. Good cut. Big run. The first one of the game for the Raiders. And Jacobs, who's got a first down. They've been trying to get that going all day. And that time it works for a gain of 15.
Being able to get him going, get Josh Jacobs going to complement what's been such a pass-dependent offense. You touched on it earlier in the broadcast, and their 6 wins, it's really all been on the shoulders of Derek Carr. If they can find some element of balance where the run game is some sort of a threat, it's just going to continue to make this pass game that much better.
Season high in carries and yards against Dallas for Jacobs, 22 for 87. On the fake. Has time. A lot of it firing. It is incomplete. Moreau had his hands on it. Holcomb said not so fast.
Yeah, I think Moreau had it. He went up and high pointed the ball. But watch him play hands to hands. The play is not over. Finish it all the way to the ground. You see Cole Holcomb ripping at it. They spend hours with defensive players. Attack the hands all the way through the catch. Great pass breakup there by Cole Holcomb.
First time a tight end has been targeted. Remember, the Raiders playing without the great Darren Waller today. Jacobs, I mean, he has nowhere to go. Spins around, just gets buried. I think that's the problem, Greg, is that every time the Raiders have tried to get the run game going, really all year, they just haven't blocked it that well.
Yeah, and Greg Olsen, the offensive coordinator, he told us, he said, the reality is we are better pass protectors than we are run blockers. We're still trying to kind of find our combinations in there and settle in. And that's why in the games they've won, so much of it falls on their passing game and Derek Carr. But today, not having Darren Waller, he's in that conversation for the top guy at the position. He is unique, he's rare, he's every compliment you could give a player. Him not being in this offense today is a huge blow.
Third and 11. Blitz is coming. Carr in trouble, and down he goes. Ioannidis got home.
Really nice stunt in here. You see Ioannidis, he's gonna start up and then he's gonna go around. It's just a TT stunt, right? You hear a lot of TE, ET. This time, both interior players just do a nice two-man stunt. It brought some secondary pressure. That's something that Coach Rivera told us. He said, with losing Sweat and losing Chase Young, we've got to bring more pressure. Really nice job there on third down.
A lot of room for Carter. And now the gap closes up and reverses field, and a nice little return. Not much there, but Carter made something out of nothing. So Washington's defense makes a stand on the opening drive of the third quarter. Their ball, their lead, third quarter. The Raiders playing in a different place, as Antonio Gibson will get the carry on first down. Been a workhorse in the first half, 12 carries, 65 yards.
The history of both these franchises just so incredible, isn't it? Well, they're playing in a new city, but these Raider fans, they love this team. Washington has such a rich tradition of players and teams and coaches. This is two really, really cool franchises.
That's why it's kind of hard to believe that Washington, look at what they have done. They've had such a hard time getting to the postseason. Overall in the last couple of decades, Raiders just one winning season in the last 16 years, as Gibson carry for a short gain. Face in on the tackle, brings up a third down. Didn't really expect a low scoring game the way these teams have played. Some of the games they've played in favors Washington, but the Raiders D holding their own to this point. 3rd and 5.
Showed the earlier graphic, the struggles since week 10 for this Raiders defense, but Gus Bradley, to their credit, they have played really well today. Outside of the opening drive, they've really, really taken control of this game. See how the rest of it goes, but so far, so good.
Blitz coming. Heineke sees it, floats one high. Catch is made by Thomas, who's got it for the first down. He had the touchdown earlier on a terrific catch. That time hauls it in again.
Keep your eye on the left tackle, Charles Leno. He's got what they call a duel. He has both these rushers, so he sits on Ngakoue. But once the defender, the inside linebacker comes, he's got to, they call it close the door and take the hit off the quarterback inside out. That gives just enough time for Taylor Heineke to get the ball out. Yes, Logan Thomas, he gets credit for the catch. Charles Leno, he has the hardest part of that protection. And he came through when they needed it.
6-year starter for the Bears on the left side, and now a penalty flag. Looks like Washington may have moved.
Yeah, Logan Thomas got a little anxious.
False start, offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Just their second penalty. Still trying to get the grass out of the house. I mean, that's a tough one. You need like a utility tool to get in there, Greg.
That's where your equipment guys got to come out with like a screwdriver or a pick or something. Got all those holes in these new helmets and get filled with all sorts of stuff.
You take the helmet off to allow the screwdriver to get in there?
On the middle of the drive, you're just hoping he doesn't go into the helmet too deep.
I'd have a hard time with that.
It's an eye.
Here's Heineke. Look to set up a screen to Gibson, who is stacked up. Divine Diablo. Remember, he's playing because of the injury to Corey Littleton. Made a very nice play.
He's been active since Divine Diablo's come in. You mentioned Corey Littleton went out, got a little banged up earlier in the game. Since he's come in, he's very athletic. You saw him use him on the previous third down in a pressure look. Did a nice job there, sniffing out that screen. He's given them a little presence so far in his early action, filling in for Corey Littleton. Yeah,
third tackle for him, third-round draft pick out of Virginia Tech. Littleton, we're told, by the way, by Pam, has a stinger. His return is probable, but not back out there yet. 2nd and 15. Pressure coming. Heineke sidesteps, throws, tipped in the air, incomplete. Man, that was up there for a minute. Nate Hobbs had an opportunity, just couldn't get there.
And this Raiders defense, they're looking for these interceptions. They've been hard to come by this season. They're one of the worst in the leagues at generating interceptions. And anytime these tips get up in the air, there's a philosophy of these defensive coaches, tips and overthrows. You got to get those. And they had a shot here. Hobbs just can't quite corral it.
3rd and 15. Got to get to the 44. Heineke in trouble and gets away. Still alive. Room to run if he wants it. Sets up. Throws. Incomplete. Oh, a lot happening. Amazing that he even got away for that opportunity. But the Raiders defense gets a big hold.
Wow, that is 6 inches from being the play, maybe of the highlight of his season so far. That was incredible. Max Crosby, one of the best edge rushers in the league, can't bring him down. He stays alive. Logan Thomas finds some space. It's a little high, but you got to make that catch. Your quarterback, you owe it to him. He does all that work. It was a little high. You'd like to see him put it on his numbers, but man, what an effort by Heineke. It's just a couple inches off from a remarkable play.
Each team punting on their first possession of the 3rd quarter. As a penalty flag on this kick goes out of bounds as Renfro watches it. So let's see what the penalty is.
Serious? That's a great shot.
Boy, Heineke is something.
He's taking full breaths there. He's tired.
Running for his life.
He's tired.
During the kick, holding against the return team, number 33. That penalty to force half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. First down, Washington. Timeout.
You know, so here is the penalty on
First down,
Teamer.
Las Vegas.
And there you go. They're going to start deep in their own territory. So Taylor Heineke doing it all at quarterback, and then he's hoping Logan Thomas get the grass out of his helmet. What can't he do? The more explosive plays. They lead the league in explosive passes. You see it by a big number. 58 passes over 20 yards. Not today. It's only been one shot. Carr, medium range here to Renfro, who hauls it in for a first down. Renfro always open, it seems. His 6th catch of the day. Well, that was before the play, just reminding you the stats. Sorry, Greg.
Such a key piece of that. The context there is Deshaun Jackson has been in and out of the lineup today all week. He was kind of bothered by a little calf in practice. Got to wonder, is he full strength? Do they feel confident giving him the entire volume of plays that we saw him have last week in Dallas? He is that deep threat guy.
He's played less than half their plays. Carr doesn't look at him, looks at Jacobs, who's open over the middle and surging forward. It's an easy 9.5-yard gain. We've got a game break. Let's go to Carissa Thompson.
Thank you, Kevin. Rams looking to snap a 3-game losing streak, 16-7 over the Jags, and add to that total. Matt Stafford links up with Cooper Kupp, 29-yard score. Rams in front, 23-7. Kevin?
Cooper Kupp, 11th touchdown of the year, leads the NFL. Marcus Mariota has come in the game at quarterback. First time today. Carr is a wide receiver. Bottom of your screen.
Here's Carr.
2nd and 1. And Jacobs on the carry. He's going to have a first down. You know, it's hasn't been exploding, but the run game a little bit starting to get going, and now it looks like they get some tempo here. Mariota stays out there. So this is interesting. Who stays at quarterback?
Yeah, I think that's the element. You typically have seen them this year do it red zone, and like you just saw right there, short distance to gain. Here's Carr in the stack. All right, they're going to shift out of it. They're going to build a 4-receiver set on the right.
4-man rush. Carr fires. It's caught. It's Moreau wide open down the seam for a huge gain. Longest of the day for the Raiders. It's 34 yards.
Well, they didn't just bring Mariota in the game to stand there, KB. They sent him out on a route. He's going to take the inside seam here on this 3 vertical. Take a look here. Mariota's the outside guy. Foster Moreau takes the inside route. That's awesome. What a good play design there following the conversion on the previous play with Mariota coming into the game.
Now the Raiders get up to the line with tempo. Carr, 3-man rush, steps up, dumps it off over the middle. It is caught by Edwards. And Jamin Davis is all over him, but it's a good drive for the Raiders.
You can sense the Raiders are starting to find their groove a little bit. It looks like the play caller, Greg Olsen, and Derek Carr are starting to see where the opportunities are against these soft zones. There's been a lot of space out there. They're building off the drive they had at the end of the second quarter.
2nd and 3. Carr firing, Moreau again, knocked away. Cole Holcomb, excellent play. Possibly saved the touchdown.
We've seen Cole Holcomb now make a couple nice plays on the ball. Both time they're targeting Foster Moreau. He's the inside seam. Ball never gets to him. Cole Holcomb gets his hand up there. Ball really never got to Moreau. Two really nice plays we've seen thus far of him defending the pass. Not really know what he's known for. Really nice job.
Went to Moreau. Maybe Jones was open. Just a great play by Holcomb. 3rd and 3. Blitz coming. Picked up. Carr low and incomplete. He tried to get it to Renfro. And now a 4th down and no decision here as Rich Bisaccia sends the field goal unit on.
Nice job here by Josh Jacobs. You're going to see he's going to pick up this blitz and he's going to give Carr a chance to hang on it. I think Carr maybe throws it a little too soon. He didn't give Renfro a chance. You see Renfro still kind of coming out of his break. Might have lost his footing a little bit, but Josh Jacobs did his part. 1/2 click longer by the quarterback. Hold it, let the route develop. You know they're working to Renfro in those situations.
Carlson from 38 yards out. It is up and good. He's hit from 52. He's hit from 38. It's a 1-point game. Good one shaping up here in Sin City. Wait to watch that Christmas Day on Fox. 1-point game. Important game for both these teams who are in the playoff next. Washington controls their own playoff destiny, and the Raiders are just on the outside looking in. Here is Raiders royalty, right? Told you, hired at age 32, team record in wins, won Super Bowl 11, and of course, a Hall of Famer.
And what's so cool is depending what generation you find yourself in, you identify with Madden at a different place, right? Certain generation know him as the coach. The next generation knows him as a broadcaster. They heard his voice narrate some of the best moments in the NFL. And then the younger generation knows him as the video game and his name. It's just a remarkable legacy he's left on this game. Just so cool.
Washington offense needs a little something here. They've been quiet a long time, and Heineke just kind of sidearms one to Gibson, and that's a good start. He surges forward for 10 yards and a 1st down.
It's one of those examples when these, they're going to play these deep soft zones. They want to come up and rally tackle, catch the ball, put your foot in the ground, and get vertical, get north and south, take that space that they give you. And sometimes those short throws, long runs. That's a big element to this Scott Turner offense. Drags, check downs, and then when they come up, now we're going to take our shot over the top.
Here's Gibson, huge hole for Gibson, who's got a 1st down and tackled after a gain of 12, but hang on, there's a penalty flag back by the line of scrimmage, and it's coming back.
Holding, offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty, replay, 1st down.
That's Keith Ismail making his first NFL start today, who's the 4th center of the year by Washington.
And you see Ismail, anytime the referees see your hands outside of your framework of your body, you got to get your head across, get your entire body to that outside edge of the defender. You see your hands come across as the defender tries to break away towards pursuit of the ball.
Almost wish you could be a stone crab and have that arm yanked off, and you
learned that last night.
Bolt it back on. Who knew?
We learned that last night firsthand.
A lot to learn this weekend. Here's Heineke trying to set up a screen pass. Bates is nowhere to go. Jonathan Abram came up from the safety position and blew it up.
This is going to be interesting. This is a new rule in the NFL this year. A defender and offensive player, they are not allowed to go low outside of the tight end box. So take a look here at Abram. In years past, he could do this.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist, defense, number 24. That 15-yard penalty is enforced in the previous spot. Automatic, 1st down.
You see Rich Bisaccia saying, but he made the tackle, he went low. That's a big point of emphasis in the league this year. It's brand new. We've seen in years past offensive and defensive players just go low and take out. It's a player safety thing. They don't love it, but that's that's the rule. They want these guys taking each other up high. They don't want you going to the ground.
Here's Gibson. And that is the new rule this year, right? Obviously, it's player safety. But my question to you is, if you're Jonathan Abram, and look, he's a big, strong guy, but you're taking on a 330-pound offensive lineman. What are you supposed to do?
I'm not sure. When they announced the rule, that was my first gut instinct. That, I had been around where offensive linemen were taught run through contact. Most likely he's going to go low, and it was really the defender's best opportunity. You got Brandon Sheriff, coming out. He's 320 pounds, and you're a DB. I'm not sure what they want the defensive player to do, but that is the rule.
It's a right call by the letter of the law. Tough one, though. Heineke's is incomplete. Some pressure in his face again by Crosby. Penalty flag from the secondary, so hang on. And the signal is it's on the Raiders.
See Brandon facing number 35.
Before the pass, holding defense. Number 35. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, playing press man, right? Fason's playing press man on Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin tries to do a flyby where he's going to put the brakes on and he's going to use his inside arm to throw the defender over the top. The defender felt that pressure. He reached out, kind of grabbed him by the back of the shoulder pads. Pretty easy call in space there for the official.
On the fake, Heineke, mid-range, Thomas. Big gainer inside the 20. They will mark him out of bounds right there, as a matter of fact, on the 20.
This is a staple play in this system. They're in a 2 tight end set. He's going to run what they call a corner route, or a 7 in this system. The outside receiver is going to take the top off, and there's a nice little pocket on the outside behind that zone defender. You see Diablo, he didn't get enough depth in his coverage. That is a staple. They call it fluty, they call it 78. A lot of different ways to word it, but in that case, it was an explosive play.
So a couple big penalties, and then the 35-yarder to Thomas, and now a handoff to Gibson, who is buried. Wow! Denzel Perryman has been a man possessed today.
Denzel Perryman starts out on the backside of this run. You're going to see him, he's right here, and he's going to do what they call a run-through. He's not going to try to go over the top. He's going to see this hole, and he's just going to hit it. I mean, he is taking the same path the running back's taken. He's a run-through, downhill player. And you said it before, it seems like he makes every tackle.
Well, he's made 11 of them today.
We got almost a whole quarter to go.
Heineke over the middle, has a completion. Humphreys inside the 20, gets back some of that yardage and then some, down to the 16. And so it'll be a 3rd down and 6. Certainly makeable. Washington on 3rd down today, 5 of 9. They've been pretty good.
Sidelines trying to get this crowd into the game a little bit. They sense how important this possession is. Raiders are trying to get off the field here, force a field goal.
Can't find anyone. Room to run. Heineke takes it, slides down inside the 10. It's a 1st and goal.
This is all the offensive line. Watch them pass these games off. They got TTs, they got twists, they got stunt. There is a body in front of every single body. They block as a unit. They don't feel like they're out there in space one-on.
Give it to Gibson. Short gain on 1st down.
On that last 3rd down, for whatever reason, Denzel Perryman came out. So you're going to see KJ Wright is assuming his role. They shift Logan Thomas. Now look at the confusion. The conversation between Abram, KJ Wright. Now they send motion with Adam Humphrey over. Now trying to get aligned. Still don't think they really ever got settled on third down. Kind of opened up the middle of the field. Taylor Heineke saw that space and took it.
Yeah, you see Perriman's back in there now, but that was a key play to be out of there. On the fake, he's got time. Can't find it and one again. Bouncing around, dumps it underneath, and it's caught by Gibson, who's inside the 5. It'll be a third down and goal.
It was really well defended. They try to run a little crossing and try to get a little rub action. Diablo has Logan Thomas. McLaurin, he's got nowhere to go. They do a great job passing these routes off across their zones. Really good job there by the secondary, passing off that two-man concept.
Yeah, I wonder if Perriman's banged up here.
Looks like he's struggling.
Maybe that's why he came off, and you see he's limping around.
He's battling right now. He knows his guys need him.
Humongous play, third and goal.
He's really struggling.
Heineke slings it sidearm. Gibson is caught for the touchdown.
Wasn't sure he was going to get the ball there. He was open early. He kind of held it and held it. He did a little sidearm slinger to the pylon. And you see Gibson looks back. Just waited an extra little count. Threw it off his back foot. What a huge answer. We said going into that drive, KB, since the opening drive of the game, Washington has really struggled to finish drives and get points. And great answer by Washington, as it sensed the Raiders' offense was starting to find a little something.
Extra point is up and good. So it's an 8-point game. 9-play, 75-yard drive. The big play to Thomas. Heineke, the big run on third down, and then Gibson picks up the touchdown, his second receiving score on the year, and Washington looking to win their 4th straight up
On that,
in Charlotte.
A cause very close to our hearts, and to have this platform is pretty special, so thank you guys.
Set up a screen to Jones, and a short gain out there for him, just his second catch of the day. Yeah, so the Raiders finally put together a nice drive. They got a 38-yard field goal the last time, and then Washington answers with a touchdown. They haven't been in the red zone yet today, so it's like baby steps, but they have not been able to go downfield really at all. Just the one play to Moreau.
Yeah, and they're running out of time. They got to find their life here with, beginning here the 4th quarter. Derek Carr's got to shoulder this offense. He's got to win this game through the air, find some plays, take what the defense is giving them. They need to get rolling here, because right now Washington's controlled this game.
This time he's got time. Can't find anyone again. Steps away and throws. Renfro on the receiving end. A beauty. And a first down for Vegas. Down to the 44.
This is just scramble drill. You work this, but there's a little bit of just innate natural instincts. You're going to see there's no one open. Hunter Renfro sees his quarterback. He works back out of the route. Holcomb's got his back turned. Once that defender has his back turned, it's hard for him to see the ball. Carr and Renfro, they have a very, very close connection. They sense what each other are going to do. They needed that play. That was huge.
Carr, and a mistimed screen by Jacobs. There's a penalty as well. And look, maybe Jacobs was held there.
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, Ron Payne, he grabs him. Take a look here. See 94, just grabs him and kind of holds him just enough.
Might not be the worst penalty, because he might have picked up a lot more than that.
Yeah. If you fake the guy the ball, though.
Holding defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, but sometimes what happens, though, if there's a rule, if you do fake the guy the ball and it does look like some sort of plash or whatnot, they can be grasped, they can be grabbed. Obviously, in that case, they didn't deem that to be to have happened, and we all saw Payne just kind of reach his arm out and pull Jacobs on the screen.
Bring on Sutton Smith, the fullback, number 41. Sean Jackson in the game. Carr looking his way. He's not open. No one's open. Now floating it for Jackson, who gets open for the first down. Penalty flag on the play, back by the quarterback. What a great throw by Derek Carr.
He has Jackson open early. You're going to see, but he had that pressure in his face. He's kind of backpedaling when he threw it.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense. That penalty is, of course, half the distance to the goal from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
You can see why he couldn't get that ball out on time when Jackson first came out of his break. But he just bought time. He backpedaled. He saw him late. What a throw. I mean, this was the drive they needed. This is what we just talked about. It hasn't been exactly as they drew it up. Saw the scramble on the Renfro. That play was a little off script. But now with the penalty, they finally are inside the red zone, KB. This is a great answer by this Raiders offense at the right time.
Go, go.
Jacobs tries to get around the edge and picked up a couple. Couldn't quite cut it upfield. And up comes second down.
This is an area of the field you just can't help but think, not having Darren Waller in the lineup today. That's that big body, his ability to run all sorts of different routes, big catch radius down here in the red zone when the targets and when the area gets a little smaller and a little more constricted. See him right there trying to get this crowd to quiet down. They're so excited about this drive, but making it hard on their offense.
Second down. Carr pumps, throws, end zone too high for Renfro, but a flag. Holcomb on the coverage, and it's going to be on him.
Some people call this a ricochet.
Defense, number 55. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
It's a great route for Hunter Renfro to run. You can see they just missed it. The contact with Holcomb. He's going to run up like he's going to run just like a square in. They're trying to get that Mike linebacker, in that case Holcomb, to squeeze down, and then he's going to redirect and go over the top. The contact just threw off the timing, but as you see, they still get the penalty. First and goal.
They go jumbo formation. Jacobs in trouble. Breaks the tackle, and he's in for a touchdown, Las Vegas.
Well, KB, at the start of that drive, when they took possession, we said they got to come to life. They've got to start getting into this game, and it took till the fourth quarter, but Derek Carr orchestrated a huge drive when they really were running out of chances. He set up, of course, a two-point play here to try to tie it up.
Zone high and incomplete. He tried to get it in there to Edwards. He had him, but he missed him. And so Washington remains in front. But the Raiders staying alive. The big play to Deshaun Jackson for 14 yards, his first catch. Then the penalty on Toohill. Raiders capitalize. Jacobs for the touchdown, but the failed two means Washington still in front.
All right, here we go. Miller in motion. Wait, is that a baby on the field?
It looks like it, Craig.
And the defensive linemen are playing peekaboo. I've never seen anything like that before.
Harris now appears to be burping the baby.
That's a great moment right there.
Ref going to the rule book here.
Well, wait a minute. Harris is...
Washington's touchdown drive with one of their own. 5 plays, 75 yards. 2-point conversion came up short. Josh Jacobs with a touchdown run, his 7th of the year. And so we've got a good one. 2-point game. Big game for both these teams. Washington controlling their own playoff destiny. The Raiders are just barely on the outside looking in. So it's important. It's a close one, and glad you're with us here from Las Vegas. Carter drops it, picks it right up. Now trying to make up the ground, and it's enough to get back to the 20. I want to remind you this week on Thursday Night Football, clash of playoff hopefuls. Big Ben and the Steelers head to Minnesota to face Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. As that one Thursday night on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video. Ravens lead the Steelers 10-3 right now. Vikings allow the Lions to win their first game on the year on the last second of the game today. So they will need that. So opening drive touchdown, nothing in between. Last drive touchdown Washington. So on 2 touchdown drives, they've combined for 150 yards. Rest of the game 76 total. Perriman is out for the Raiders. He's been their best defensive player today, along with Crosby and others. As a matter of fact, let's hear more. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
And Kevin, not sure how long he will be out of this ball game because Perriman has an ankle injury and he is listed as questionable at this time.
It's big, Pam. I mean, he's been so good. And so they'll do it without him right now. So playing with 2 backup linebackers right now because of the injuries. Penalty flag. Heineke's going to keep it. And he's going to be a couple yards short of a first down. As we'll get this first down call. Penalty call, excuse me. Maybe it will be a first down. Maybe I'm just looking ahead, Greg.
Offside defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
So what I'm fascinated about right now is in this 3-game win streak for Washington, how they've won games is exactly like this. They've been up and they've finished games with incredibly long drives. This is setting up for how they're winning lately.
And the turning point of this run for them was that moment 3 weeks ago against Tampa. They got the ball right about like this, over 10 minutes to go, and they rallied off a 19-play drive to close out Tampa. That's been their formula late in games. See how it plays out today.
Here is Gibson. He's got a first down. Well, there's an injured Washington player. Oh, Logan Thomas is down. We told you he missed so much time of this year with a hamstring injury. He's been great today. Obviously in pain. And he was out for 2 months with that hamstring injury. Came back last week. A touchdown today, and now concern for him on the field. Injury timeout from Las Vegas. What happened here?
All day we talked those tight ends going backside, right? They're going to go cut that backside defensive end. In this case, Yannick Ngakoue, he went low. For whatever reason, Thomas did not go low, and he took a shot in that knee.
As they run it outside to Gibson. He did walk off gingerly under his own power. And, you know, you're wondering, well, we talked all game, low hits, you can't do it anymore, but inside what they call the tight end box, right? So the tight end outside the tackle, or if there's an event, imagine a tight end outside the tackle. If you do it within that area.
Yep. It's completely legal, and you know, sometimes those are the most violent hits. You take those shots low, offense on defense. In this case, it's the defensive player on the offensive player, and you just got to hope that Logan Thomas is okay.
2nd and 8. Heineke has time. Quick hitter underneath the Bates. That's the backup tight end who has a first down. Well, we mentioned this Washington and their ability to possess the ball and run the ball and run out games. And you always say, hey, you know, whatever about the run stats, I don't care. What I want to see is the run stats in the fourth quarter when you're trying to win. Well, this is exactly why they've won.
Absolutely. Anyone who values the run game, the key to the run game is when you run situationally, short yardage, goal line, and then closing games out in the fourth quarter. I don't care how many yards you run for in the first quarter. It's meaningless. We got to run when we have to run. This is the situation here where the run game now has a ton of value.
Here's Gibson. Squeaks through into Raiders territory. So a 2-point game with 8+ to go. Washington got this football, 10:57 to play.
You can tell they're taking every second they can, taking their time in the huddle.
Run it again. Gibson is stacked up. Nowhere to go. KJ Wright, longtime Seahawk, first-year Raider on the stop. And now a pretty large third down coming up.
Yeah, anytime you lose Denzel Perryman, you're not thrilled. He came out with the injury, but when you can bring in KJ Wright, KJ typically just plays in what they call base defense, meaning there's 3 linebackers on the field, and then he comes off the field when it's 2 linebackers. Unless Perryman can re-enter the game, KJ Wright's going to take every rep going forward. It's a pretty nice luxury to have when you can bring a guy like that off the bench. He's been doing this at a high level for a long time.
3rd and 4. 4-man rush throw is intercepted by the Raiders. Hobbs has it. Hayward knocked it around. Hobbs picks it up. The rookie's still on his feet, and Vegas will take over. First interception of his career comes at a huge moment. Heinicke may have gotten hit here. Oh, he did. That's why it was Crosby again. Hayward tipped it. Hobbs finished it. Raiders football down by 2. Interception of the year for this Raiders defense. 2nd fewest in the league, but that is a big moment, and the first one for the rookie Hobbs. And now, Raiders football down by 2. 6:49 to play. It's Carr. Over the middle, it's caught. Zay Jones into Washington territory. He's got 14.
Just finding areas in the soft spot of the zone. We've mentioned the last few possessions, it really seems now like the Raiders have a good feel for what Washington is doing. Where are the vulnerabilities in the coverage? Where are the soft spots? Carr's getting the protection to go through his progression. And they're starting to click now. Oh, they're in the wrong formation here. Somebody's on the wrong side.
Wide open, it's Renfro. Easy pitch and catch for another first down for the Raiders. His 8th catch of the day, so back-to-back games with 8 catches for Renfro.
Nice play design. They're going to take Josh Jacobs and they're going to fake the screen. Renfro's going to come up like he's going to block, stalk, seam. He's going to find that pocket. Look at the underneath. You see Cole Holcomb, they're all driving, thinking they're throwing that swing route to the back. Bluff, bluff. Up the inside edge of the numbers. That's the landmark.
52. We're good. Hey, you and me.
Logan Thomas out of that injury tent. No diagnosis on him yet. Right now, it's the Washington defense on display against Jacobs, and Deron Payne just crushes him. Maybe Pam Oliver has more on Logan Thomas. Pam?
Yeah, Washington will have to go the rest of the way without Logan Thomas, who was really balling today, wasn't he? Thomas has a knee injury and won't play the rest of the way. Back to you.
That's a bummer, Pam. Thanks. Hopefully it's not a serious injury, but out today.
You just hate that for him. You mentioned he came back from the hamstring injury. It kept him out so long. He told me in pregame it was hard to come back from that. It was bothering me for a long time. He's kind of found his groove today. He's made a big impact on the game. You hate to see him go out.
Jacobs, big hole. Jacobs hurtling in the air. First down to the 21.
It's a real light box. Yeah, there's nobody here. You got to imagine someone's got to insert down for run support. They only got 5 guys in the box. Can't imagine that was the front they wanted in that situation. Look at Josh Jacobs. Yeah, a little better ball security there, Kevin. That ball is all over the place. But what an athletic play.
He's also 220 pounds and just leapt over a man.
Never understood that. I was always a feet on the ground guy. I was never really looking to elevate very high.
Give it to him again. This time the other side, and not much there. Maybe a yard if he's lucky, as Payne was there again.
It always amazed me, though, when guys in the open field could be running full speed, stick one foot in the ground, and hurdle NFL defenders coming at their legs. I would always kind of look on and marvel and just think to myself, if I tried that, I'd die. I'd be about 6 inches off the ground.
I'm glad you know your limitations.
Hey.
I think you did okay without doing that, by the way. I Googled your numbers.
Remember that movie, Woody Harrelson? These guys ain't jumping very high.
Carr pressure, setting up a screen. Has it. Peyton Barber just in the game. But boy, that was A nice tackle from behind. Jamin Davis got him by a nose.
Look at the speed of Jamin Davis. He's going to start all the way on the backside, and he's going to follow him all the way across the field. Watch him. They compare him around here to Thomas Davis. That's a pretty bold comparison. But I'll tell you, on plays like that, for a linebacker to be able to cover that much ground, it's really impressive for the young rookie.
2:42 to go. They're in field goal range. Down by 2, 3rd and 7. Carr floats one, end zone, incomplete. Jones had his hand on it, could not bring it in. Would have been an amazing play, and now a field goal try.
He's got a shot here. They do a great job picking up the pressure. He gets a little bumped off the line. Wow, he just misses it. Nice job by Kendall Fuller, though, just playing through the ball, but that's one that you miss by a foot.
And so now it's Daniel Carlson for the lead from 37 yards out. Right down the middle. Raiders in front. Carlson 3 for 3 today after a 5 for 5 week last week. First lead of the day for Las Vegas comes with 2:22 to play. Carlson 3 field goals, 1-point game. But a long time to go. 2:22 left. And now this from Pepsi and Uber Eats. Derek Carr and the offense, they've come alive and gotten themselves back off the mat after a first half where they were quiet until the last drive. And it's been a fun second half. Back and forth we go, which has Vegas in front for the first time today, 15-14. But Washington, 2:22 left, all 3 timeouts. And it'll be on the shoulders of that man, Taylor Heineke.
He's had some magic at moments today, and especially over the last couple weeks. He's got a chance right now to take it to another level with this drive.
And they'll start it on the 25. I told you the Raiders were right on the outside of the playoff picture in the AFC. The Chargers beat the Bengals today. That was a big one in the AFC. See the Raiders 6-5. They get a win today. They could jump on in there. The Bills play on Monday night. Broncos and Chiefs play tonight. So it's wild. It's so tied together, especially in that AFC West.
These final couple weeks of the season, both conferences, the amount of teams that are in play is just remarkable.
But a great atmosphere here in Las Vegas. Place is rocking. 1-point game.
You're an NFL quarterback. This is where you make your money. 2-minute drives, games on your shoulders.
Heineke in trouble. Looking, throwing, and has a completion. Did he haul it in? He did. Bates has it for a gain of 9, and that may take us to the 2-minute warning.
Nice job by Bates, just staying alive. John Bates now filling in. We talked, Logan Thomas unfortunately had to exit, but he stayed alive.
Looks like they tried to get it off before the 2-minute warning. They did not. 2 minutes to go. Washington football down. 3 timeouts on the handoff, and they've got the first down with Gibson.
Yeah, good call there. 2nd and 1. Pick up the first down, fresh set of downs, but now they got to really pick up the tempo here. They can stop the clock 3 times. We're under the 2-minute warning. They're going to get rolling here with some tempo.
See Brian Johnson, if Washington gets in range, this is his 5th NFL game today, just signed. First they got to do that and get there, and that'll help as Humphreys has the catch. He went backwards. He had the first down, and let's see where they mark him.
Yeah, they didn't rule that he went out of bounds. So the rule to stop the clock, this is pretty important. You have to be going forward, right? You have to be going forward. They're ruling that after contact, he was going sideways. So you saw the official swinging his arm in the air. That tells the play clock official, just keep the clock moving.
And they give him a first down. Clock does run. Pressure up the middle. Heineke sidearm throw. Has it complete. Humphreys this time out of bounds as they get closer to field goal range. A first down 2 with 59 seconds left.
Humphreys coming to life a little bit for him. Nice double move. We've talked a lot about Hunter Renfrow on the other side. He's a very good route runner in his own right. Finding some soft zones. Great job being aware, getting out of bounds, save the timeouts. At this point right now, the clock's not really a huge issue. A little under a minute, but you got 3 timeouts. You really just need a field goal. So the clock's not a huge part of the equation at this point.
Blitz is coming. Heineke stays in there. Oh, that could have been a pick 6. Trayvon Mary had that in the end zone if he caught it. Oh my goodness, that was close.
Yeah, that's a ball when it came out of his hand. The entire Washington sideline took a deep breath. It's a pick 6. You said it. He's got to set his feet. These last couple throws, I know he completed a couple to Humphreys. I know the pressure's been there all day, but he's kind of throwing the ball off his back foot and just slinging it out there. He's got to get set, step up in the pocket, deliver the ball with a little more purpose.
They're about 7 yards away from field goal range. Blitz coming again, set it up to Gibson, looking for blocks, gets some, and that'll get him in field goal range. Solomon Thomas with a great tackle coming off the D-line, and now a timeout is called by Washington. So, you know, again, we showed you the new kicker with Brian Johnson. He only kicked 4 games with New Orleans. His high there was 52 yards, or his long, not his high. So that's all we're going on, right? I mean, tough to know exactly what he can do. Only 4 games in his NFL career, but I'll tell you one thing, got to be a little nervous.
Yeah, I think if I'm Washington, I'm Scott Turner. I'm not getting too conservative here. I know he's technically in field goal range, but as you mentioned, a 50-plus field goal, field goal to win the game on the road. I think I'm aggressive here. Try to pick up this first down, continue to milk the clock. I got 2 timeouts. I'm not sure I just settle for this field goal. I think we got to get closer if you're Washington.
Apparently they gave that timeout to Vegas, not to Washington, FYI. Huge play, 3rd and 4 here. Just about in field goal range. How aggressive will they be?
See Curtis Samuel, he came into the backfield.
They will give it to him up the middle, and he's got it. First down, I think. Let's see. Now the initial marking, it says he's just short. Oh boy, that was close, but they're going to say he was down shy of the first down. Raiders call their second timeout.
They got a nice look. Look at this space in the middle here. They bring a receiver into the backfield. Look at KJ Wright. He's bringing guys down. He senses it coming. It's a good veteran play by KJ Wright. Wow, he's really close. I do think he's short. Kind of spins around down there. He's about a half yard short.
That's a great job.
Come up. This is an interesting conversation here. Do you I think they're going to try to pick up this first down and keep the offense out there.
Wow.
At least it appears that way right now. You know, there's always the possibility of trying to make them jump, right? Knowing you can take a timeout and then kick it. But we'll see.
This is an interesting call, to say the least. It's a 49-yard field goal if they kicked it right now. But they're not. They're going to try and get the half a yard. Essentially, it's the game right here.
Let's see what they have in store. They're going to try to get him to jump.
I'm assuming they called the timeout. I didn't see a signal. If not, they may move him out of field goal range.
There is no foul to play. Before the play clock expired, timeout.
There you go.
Washington, they're first.
And so that was interesting, to say the least. They're hoping the Raiders would jump off sides. And again, we're going to find out what Brian Johnson's made of. 4th kicker of the year for Washington. Joey Sly last week. They had to play the whole second half without a kicker. It almost cost them the game. And now they turn it over to Johnson in his 5th ever NFL game to try and put them in front.
Talk about an opportunity to welcome yourself to a new team. Oh, man. Yeah. First week with them, and you got a game winner on the road to keep you in the hunt.
Officially, it's a 48-yard attempt from Johnson. Guts personified by Johnson. And Washington in the lead with 37 to play.
Wow. Talking about confidence in your new kicker. You bring him in this week. His first attempt of the day, and he nails it. He had no doubt. This one's not over. Derek Carr's got a timeout. He's got over 30 seconds. They only need to get in field goal range. We've seen how good Carlson's been all year, not only today. So this game's by no means over. But what a kick. Thought maybe they would try to go for that fourth down. 49-yard field goal. It's by no means a chip shot, but give credit to Washington. They had a lot of confidence in Johnson, and he came through when they needed him. Crowd's loving it. Look at that love.
You know, we talked to Scott Turner, the offensive coordinator, during the week, and you were asking him about how he's feeling about the offense, and he said, hopefully we could play with a kicker for an entire game. Kind of worked out so far.
I think having a kicker has come in handy.
It's a useful thing in football. Now, not over yet. 37 seconds to go. Barber looking for some yards, taking up some clock too, and he's taken down the 25, but that took up 6 seconds. And so now 31 seconds left, one timeout. Realistically for the Raiders, you got to get to the 40-yard line of Washington.
Yeah, and now if you're the Raiders and you're in the offense, you're Derek Carr, you're saying, if I do throw the ball in the middle of the field, it's got to be a chunk play. I can't waste my one opportunity to stop the clock for a 2-yard check down, a 5-yard check down. If it's a short route, it's got to be on the boundary to get out of bounds. If I'm going to throw it down the field, it's got to be a chunk, and we can still stop the clock.
Carr rolling, looking, just going to throw it as far as his arm can take him. Jones is down there, incomplete, no flag. Bobby McCain on the coverage.
They went for it on first down. We've seen so many games decided this year on pass interference calls. You can see McCain, he's kind of tugging on his jersey. I think what the official sees. See that right there? See when McCain turns and finds the ball? That's what they're looking for out of the secondary player. He's playing the ball. I like the no call. Make the team earn it on the field.
Second down, 21 seconds left. Carr pumps, fires Renfro in the middle of the field. Got to call a timeout here, and they will. Final timeout for the Raiders. So the only problem with that shot is it took up so much time. And now, wait a second, the clock is running. Carr said timeout right away.
Yeah, they're going to have to reset this game clock.
I think, what, 13 seconds probably?
Their third and final. This will be a 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 10 seconds.
I thought he called timeout even sooner than that. Thought he called timeout.
I thought it was 13.
You're going to see McCain's kind of pulling on the back of Jones's, but you know, I think in this situation, we've seen so many games decided. We saw it on Thanksgiving, against Dallas. Gets his head back, he finds the ball, he's playing the ball. There's always going to be hand fighting. I like letting the players decide the game unless it's just egregious.
I think there's 3 more seconds on the clock here.
I thought so too.
I mean, they put 10. I think it's got to be 13. And maybe they're discussing this, I'm not sure. But the bottom line is they're out of timeouts now. And the reality is they need 23, 24 more yards to even have a shot. So it stays at 10 seconds. Here we go. 3-man rush. Carr in trouble. He's got to throw it. 6 seconds. Gets it to Jacobs. 4 seconds. He sees it and goes out of bounds alertly to give him one last shot. So now it's just going to be Hail Mary time.
Yeah, it's Hail Mary as long as you're confident that your quarterback can reach the end zone. Factor in, they got the ball at the 44-yard line with the drop from the gun. He's going to have to throw this ball over 60 yards to reach the end zone. It's
a big throw.
Big throw. I think people take for granted in live action how far that is. Don't rule out the old, throw it underneath, flea flicker, keep the play alive. They're kind of right on the edge.
Could be the last play of the game. Carr Can his arm get him there? Throws it deep down the field. It is incomplete. No flags. Washington wins it.
Ball landed about 2 yards short of the end zone. He gave it everything he had. What a finish.